Listen up, cause you're about to miss this. Everything that you're about to witness. Get up, come out and try to get this. And this is all a part of my sickness.
And it's not in Memphis, but it's in Lexington, Kentucky. Let's have a big Davis County welcome to one of the finest coaches in America, our coach, John Calipari.
You know, it's funny. Tommy forgot to tell you I got fired in New Jersey. You had to explain it the right way. And I also want to tell you, we played that Kentucky team in '96. They had 9 NBA players. And we beat them to start the season. You remember that one, Tommy? I remember that one better than that other one. Moonlight Barbecue, you guys were terrific. Give those guys a hand. You guys were wonderful. Cliff Hagan, how about this guy? You know he's never coached because he hasn't aged. You look at this guy. Joe Bowen, thank you for having us. And let me do this also. I got to have a special thanks for Joe Kraft. Has been a tremendous friend of the university and in our basketball program, but to me personally, we went into Wildcat Lodge, coal-built Wildcat Lodge. Coal-built Wildcat Lodge. My grandfather was a coal miner. Important to this state, important to all of what we do here. So Joe, what you do in Alliance, I see all the Alliance people here. He's taken me into a mine. I want to go down, I want to see where my grandfather, he said it's not so dusty. It's what you told me, not dusty down there now. This stuff is good. So Joe, thank you for all you do for our state. Thank you. Todd Lee, where are you, Todd Lee? This is the guy that coaches in this town. Stand up, Todd Lee. Doing a great job. You know, Reggie and I work together. Reggie, I wish you luck in any way I can help you. You know that. Bobby, I was with your teammate up in Hazard who was talking about you. What was his name? I'm forgetting. I was in Hazard with Johnny Cox and all those guys, so we had some guys there. And let me say this, Mike Horn, where are you, Mike? Why don't you stand up? This guy, what he does in this community and how you really support these kids. Thank you. You're all excited because we're undefeated. I know that. I lost the game. I went to a function, and I looked around the room, and I said, how you going to be when we lose one? And a guy in the back stood up, and he said, one's fine, Coach. It's that second one that starts bothering me. And I laughed. He didn't laugh. They talk about these crazy fans, and there's a story. Please tell me this isn't true. Guy walks in to Rupp Arena. He's a little bit late, and the game's getting ready to get started. It's one of the great games they're playing. And he walks in, and he sees an empty seat. And he can't believe it. It's the biggest game of the year. These tickets are going for $1,000 a ticket out front. How can a seat down low like this be? And he goes up to the guy, and he says, well, why is this seat up? Well, my wife and I have been going games for 50 years, and this is the first game that she won't be with me. She passed away. And the guy felt bad, and he just said to him, didn't you have family or friends? Or, oh no, they're all at her funeral right now. And I said, don't you tell me that's true. They said, that's true, I'm telling you it's true. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit. This is for the athletes and for everyone here. You know, I have a book coming out, Bounce Back, and it talks about tough times. It talks about things aren't always the way you want them to be. For all of us in this country right now, and in athletic terms, it's you get knocked down and get back up. It's not getting knocked down, it's how quickly you can get back up and get standing and keep throwing blows back. You know, my dad used to always tell us, keep things in perspective. Never quite as good as it seems, it's never quite as bad as it seems. keep things in perspective. Well, my sister went away to college. She went to Penn State. Do we have any Penn State graduates here? I have yet to meet a Penn State graduate. She went away to Penn State. It's called the Happy Valley, and she was gone for about 2 months. We hadn't heard from her. And there was a letter that came. We said grace. We were having dinner, and my mom said that my dad, Vince, there's a letter from Terry. Would you like me to read it? And the letter went something like this. Dear Mom, Dad, Lee, and John, everything here in the Happy Valley is great. I'm really socially loving this. Academically, it's really well. I'm getting well adjusted. I'm enjoying my time. Now, my dorm burned to the ground, and I lost all my books and belongings. But everything's fine. I've gone to Goodwill. I've gotten clothes. I've borrowed books. I'm all caught up academically. I did move into an off-campus apartment. I have a new roommate, Jim. Jim's quite a fellow. He's been out of rehab for 6 months. And I think you're going to grow to love Jim as I do. I want to apologize to all of you for not inviting you to the wedding. That happened rather quickly. But Mom and Dad, I want to congratulate you two on becoming grandparents. And I think you'll be the greatest grandparents of all time. Your loving daughter, Terry. At the bottom, she had P.S. Dad, all of the above is a lie. I failed chemistry, and I wanted you to keep things in perspective. You know, it's funny, when we're all going through tough times, things are happening. A lot of it's out of our control. I mean, you look right now at what's going on in this country. I mean, unless you have somebody helping us with oil, or unless this economy is on you, it's on all of us. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, real estate, banking, it doesn't matter. Everybody's in the same boat. And I'll tell you, one thing you find out is when you're going through tough times, you're not alone. Like right now, everybody in this country is in the same boat. Bob Rotella called me the year we won 38 games. We were 20-0. Middle of February, and he says, I'm telling you now, every team in the country is tired. Every team in the country has problems. Whichever coach can wake up every day and love the challenge of it and deal with it the best and have fun with it will be the last man standing. I got up every morning, put my feet on the floor and said, thank you, Lord, for giving me this opportunity. My team was tired, we had problems, we had issues, but I attacked it that way. And guess what? We were the last team standing. And I'll tell you right now, in this country, right, you're not alone. As an athlete, you get hurt. Something happens and takes you away from the field of the court. You're the first one in the history of the game that's ever happened to, but who can deal with the situation the best? That's the one that's going to strike out and still get it done. Second point of this, can you stay positive? Hard to stay positive. I like to use the phone test. Does everybody here have a cell phone? What's the greatest thing about a cell phone? Someone calls you and what? You know who it is. You're not just picking up the phone and saying, hello. You know who it is. So all of a sudden you get a call from Bill. And Bill, you say, hey Bill, how are you? And Bill was so negative. He's killing everybody, the country and all of a sudden the people, and it tires you out. It wears you out until you're trying to catch him on a downwind to hang up, and everything is ending up. Stop. So then you hang up the phone and you're like, whew. What happens when Bill calls back? My daughter calls it the eat poop button. You're not taking that call. What if he calls your secretary? You're laughing because we've been there. He calls your secretary. Bill's calling. What'd you tell him? Did you tell him I'm here? How did you tell me exactly? Did you say, yeah, let me go find him? Or did you say I'm here? How did you avoid it? You don't want to be around it. You don't want to. Well, the other person, and we've all had this person in our life, is someone that makes us feel like $1 million every time we're around them. I had an Aunt Catherine. I'd walk up to her house, and she would say, "There's my athlete, Johnny, you are so handsome." My nose was this big, I was about 112 pounds, my ears, and you saw it coming, and she's telling me what, and I was like, come on. But she made me feel wonderful. And when you sat down and ate with her, you know what? I made time. Any time that I go back to Pittsburgh, I made time until she passed away. Always made time for my Aunt Catherine. But you know what? When times are rough, you got to be that positive guy. You got to have people wanting to come to you. You can't be pushing people off. Can you act like you're 12 again? What do you mean, Coach? Act like I'm 12. Anybody have a son play Little League Baseball? I had my nephew play Little League Baseball, 12 years old. I'd go out to that right field fence, that's right. You know what right field means. Everybody got a position except Matt. He goes to right field. Go out there, kid. And the only way he stopped the ball is if it hit the fence. He'd throw it to the wrong, you're laughing because it was your son. He threw it and threw it to the wrong man. If he was up batting, just swing faster. When he gets the hand, it swing. Remember that? Swing! Oh, jeez, it hit the glove and he swing, right? We've all been there. I walk out and I'm a little bit late. And I look up and there's no score up yet. But I'm 20 minutes late. And I look at Matt. I said, Matt, what's the score? He said, 17-0, Uncle John. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the murder room. What do you say? How do you encourage? He looks back at me and says, but we haven't been up yet. We've all been there. We've all had that attitude. It's when we get older that we lose it. I tell you, let's all act like we're 12 when the times are rough. That there's nothing going to stand in our way. And I'm going to tell you this. Me, I'm betting on the United States. That's who I'm betting on. I'm not betting against them. I'm betting with them. You know, you can't be afraid to ask for help. Successful people want to help. When you reach out to successful people who are they're on a good run, they then become your cheerleader because you're asking them for help. People are afraid to ask for help. Jerry Colangelo, you hear Jerry Colangelo? Phoenix Suns, Diamondbacks, USA Basketball, helped to the gold medal. He was 27 years old, folks. He had a tuxedo rental shop, went out of business, bankrupt, out, done. Sitting at his table, doesn't know what to do. He opens up a wallet and a card falls out. Mr. Klein, he didn't remember where he got the card, but he was suffering, he was struggling. He calls Mr. Klein, can I work for you? They get together, he gives them a commission-only job. Finds out Mr. Klein ends up liking basketball. Jerry played basketball. Finds out Mr. Klein's trying to bring an NBA team to Chicago. Well, Jerry and he get together. He gets the team. He makes Jerry an assistant GM. A year later, he goes to Phoenix because they're trying to get a team, and they hire Jerry. He ends up owning the team. He owns the Diamondback. He has a G5. He does it because he wasn't afraid to reach into his wallet in a card that he didn't even remember who it was to ask for help. You can't be afraid. How about this? Creating your own story. Write your own story. Johnny Cash used to do it at the beginning of every year, right? What do you want the year to be? What do you want your year to be like? As an athlete, what do you want your season to be like? I had Joey Dorsey. Remember Joey Dorsey? You remember Joey? You remember his free throw percentage? It's 48%. Joey in the big games didn't think he deserved to have success because he had been beat down his whole life. You're not this, you can't that, you're not that, you'll never be this, you don't deserve this, you're a bum. You know what? He'd been told it so much he started believing it. Told him, write your own story. What do you want to be? How do you want this season to end? How do you want it to be for you? Went out, he wrote that story. I said the end of it should be you being carried off the court making game-winning free throws. Chanting, Joey, Joey. You know what? His last game of his senior year, they were chanting, Joey, Joey. I tell you, write your own story. And don't hold back, right? Last thing I would tell you is, they say it, and that tells me someone who's struggling yet reaches out to other people is even more powerful. you're struggling, try to make someone each day feel good. Make someone feel special. I try to do that with my team. This year I'll do the same. We'll be in the middle of a run. Call somebody who's helped you get to this point in your life. Tell them thanks. Spend time with them. And I tell all of you, can we make someone feel special each day? Can you reach out to someone that you work with or in your home or in the grocery store, making them feel good? I think that's all part of picking yourself up when times are rough. Lastly, like this guy here, like that guy there, some people climb the ladder of success. You think about these two. Some people, not these two, climb that ladder of success and they turn around and they pick up the ladder. Special people climb that ladder of success and they turn around and they pick up the next person and they pick up the next person because they know their legacy is not going to be them, it's what they leave with other people. And I would tell all of us here, you're special for what you're doing for the Boys Club, for Cliff, for the Y and how you're reaching out. Some of you are teachers and what you're doing up there for those young people, it's outstanding. And I would tell all of you here, I watch this tape. What are you trying to tell me? I got to win national titles? Is that what this is? Trying to put it on me, right? But let me do this. Now, that's my little soapbox stuff. I like doing it. Did that hit home with anybody? I hope so. Let me do this. Any questions? You can ask me anything you want. Basketball questions, anything like that. We got mics here. We got some guys. Would you like to know I coached in the NBA. Got fired. I coached in the NBA. You want to know the difference between coaching NBA players and college players? Would you like to know the difference? When you coach a college player, you're teaching life skills. You're trying to help that young man grow. Anybody from Pittsburgh here? We got some Pittsburgh, so you know the term jag-off, right? That's a Pittsburgh term. If a young man is a jag-off, okay, you will counsel him, doesn't work. You counsel him aggressively, doesn't work. This is a college, high school play, this is what you're doing. You throw him out of a practice, doesn't change, still a jag-off. Sit him out of games. And eventually, you throw him off the team. He will not change. All of a sudden, you're coaching in the NBA, and you have the same jag-off. That's who you're coaching. Cliff will know what I'm saying here. That young man, you start, you get him 20 shots a game, you promote him in the papers, so you can trade him. Yes, questions? I'm starting Richie, just so you know. Lively group here. I talked too long. Any questions?
Yeah, we've got two right here. Surely we've got some questions.
How about up top? Any questions? Stand up and scream.
Can you give me tickets?
They gave me about 12. How many of you get up to the games down here, from here? Oh, that is tremendous. That is tremendous. Questions? Mary, you got a question for me? What's Mary asking me? Go ahead. We're playing Moorhead State, an NCAA tournament team with everybody back and a transfer from a major college. We're playing Moorhead. I'm scared to death. First game out of the game. So that's who we play. Yes? Can't hear you. Yes, we're winning 40 games this year, all by 35. Anything else? Yes.
Coach, how about the stronger schedule? I look back last year and we was playing like Bledsoe University.
Yeah, what we're doing, here, let me give you some ideas of what I'm trying to do. The schedule this year of Louisville, North Carolina, Indiana, Connecticut, Virginia. I mean, our schedule. And then the guys that we must bring into Rupp Arena are much better. So a lot of those teams are NCAA tournament teams. So the schedule is much stronger. The RPI that you hear about, I've had to study that because I was in Massachusetts and Memphis, and had to beat Kentucky. And we weren't playing in the SEC. We had to do the RPI, so we're trying to go there. But we're also trying to play neutral games in football stadiums. I want to play Duke in Atlanta and get 70,000 at the game. I love the play. I've already talked to Mike about it. I'm not sure he wants to do it. He's talking Chicago and New York. I said, I'll play anywhere. Just get us a big building and we can get 70,000. Then we're playing, hopefully, Kansas and St. Louis in the football stadium. That should be 60,000. We want to play the four winningest programs in the history of college basketball and do doubleheaders. Who are those four? Kentucky's number 1. Who's number 2? North Carolina's number 2. Who's number 3? Who's number 4? Duke, but Duke won't play anybody. You got to have their officials. So now we go to who's the 5th winningest program in the history of the game. It's not UCLA, not Memphis. We won the last 5 years. Syracuse. So having those 4 teams in New York playing doubleheaders, trying to elevate this program, separate it. You know, we want people to understand that Kentucky basketball is it. You know, a lot of people, you guys are excited, you know, that, Cal, we're excited you're coaching. Well, let me tell you, yeah, women like kissing me, like on the lips. You gotta stop. You can't do it. So let me just tell you, I am more excited. Can you imagine? My grandfather was a coal miner, and I am coaching the University of Kentucky. In 1985, in that Final Four game, I was 2 rows from the top of Rupp. Have you ever been up there? Yes. You know I had to walk on my hands and feet on the steps to go down. I was afraid I was going to go over the side. I was 2 rows, and 20-some years later, I'm coaching on the sideline. Can you imagine that? I am ecstatic of this opportunity. And all the players that played here, and all that they've done, and the groundwork, and it's been players, and I know there have been great coaches here. Coach Rupp, they even told me back then, I asked, Adrian Smith came in my office about 2 weeks ago. And I said, how did you guys play? He said, Coach Rupp, we played fast. We ran. He said, if you didn't fast break, we don't win. And we ran patterns, and I was talking to, yesterday, we were down in Madisonville. Who do you think I was sitting with? Frank Ramsey, same thing. They were talking about, he said he doesn't like to sit next to Mr. Hagan here. He said he makes him look too old. So he said, I'd like to stay away from me. But he was talking about it. So the history here for me, it's incredible. And I've been trying to go around this state and respect the history of this program and tell you, I'm going to do everything we can to bring you the best players we can bring. We had our freshmen on campus this summer. Each of them, 5 of them took 2 classes. There was only 1 C. The rest of them were A's and B's. And the player that got the highest GPA was John Wall, who they say, well, he may only be here a year, but he understands why he's in school to get an education. That's 1 year or 2 years, he understands. Anything else before we get on a plane and get back? I'm going to answer until, okay, now we're great. We got guys with hats on and everything else. Go ahead.
How are Terry and Ramon and Patrick, just from your system?
They're doing okay. I mean, I think Patrick Patterson in this system of play, playing out on the floor, I told him, I want you to play like you're a guard. Unless the game's on the line and then your butt's going to be right under the basket. But other than that, I want you to get the skill level so you can shoot jumpers and play. We unleash the kids with this stuff. Let me say this. You're all hearing about the dribble drive, right? Let me tell you early on what it's going to look like. If you're even near the court, you're going to be ducking because balls are going to be flying everywhere. There's going to be so many turnovers. They're going to take bad shots. And you're going to say, this is crazy. And in each week that goes by, there's going to be less turnovers. There are going to be less bad shots. And you're going to have a team that's unleashed and attacking on every possession. They just keep coming. And you'll be saying, they don't stop. They just keep coming. And a guy gets tired, he's out. And we'll put new guys in. I hope I can play 9 or 10. We're going to press defensively. I play man-to-man. Somebody asked me about zone. Now, probably going to play 2 point guards, John Wall and Eric Bledsoe. I may start them both. I said to Eric, now Eric's 6 foot tall, and they said, Coach, you don't like small guards. He's 6 foot tall, his wingspan is 6'8". His neck looks like about like that. And he jumps 40 inches. 40, like a 4-0. So I sat him down. I said, how fast is John Wall? He said, Coach, he is so fast. I said, Eric, is he like, Coach, I know, he is fast. I said, he faster than you? He said, I don't know about that now. So I may start them both, but you know what? We can also play two big guys in Daniel Orton and Demarcus Cousins. And I talked to Coach Hall about it. I said, you always play two bigs. Why did you play two bigs? Because he said, I was trying to recruit two more bigs. I had to play two. You know, I've done it some, but if these two can play, I'm going to play both bigs. Why not? I mean, now all of a sudden you're a huge team. You could be a fast team. Darius Miller had a great summer. We're bringing in some other guys. I think, like I said, I'm excited. Look, I like this, what I did today. I like this. But I love coaching. I like this. And I do it because I have to. I like this. I don't say I don't like it. I like it. But I love coaching. I wish I started tomorrow. I'm excited about my team. Yes? Is there a question? In the hat, right there. Stand up, hat. They got to look at this hat. Go ahead. There you go. You people are all looking to Louisville. What is wrong with you? Has it always been this way? I was at a function the other day, and I'm like, people, you know, we play them once a year, we're in different leagues, and we said something, and I used the term hate about something else. And I said, what hate? I said, not hate, what's the next term up? And the guy said, Louisville. I ask you this. Louisville beats us by 15, and we win the national title. You okay? There's still people that say no. How can that be? You're all crazy. In the back. We have Orlando Antigua, played at Pittsburgh, played for the Globetrotters for a while, was with me 1 year in Memphis, with me now. Rod Strickland, played in the NBA for 17 years, who was with me in Memphis for 3 years. John Robick, who's been with me a long time, associate head coach. I hired CM's son, Martin Newton, to be director of basketball operations. So we got Martin involved. Tony Delk and Scott Paget are on my staff we're bringing guys back to graduate. Ron Mercer's coming back to finish up his degree. I talked to Jody Meeks about whatever we got to do to help him get his degree. So we're doing that, and I'm hiring those positions that can't be on the court coaching, but they're going to be learning basketball. And as each one of my assistants get a job, they take one of those guys, and now all of a sudden they're into basketball, just trying to help them get jobs. Yes, question?
Got a question about a new arena. Any word on that? You think it's eventually going to get done?
I think it will. The main reason I think it'll get done is because Louisville built a new building. So I just can't imagine the people in this state let their Commonwealth team have a building that's not as nice as the other schools. So I would tell you, I think within 4 years we'll be playing in a new building. And they won't have bleachers in the top of it either. 12th team? I don't know who 12. I don't know.
That should be your 12th win, and that'll be number 2,000.
See, everybody, we've got to win 12 games before North Carolina wins 16. And then we get to 2,000 before they do. And believe me, I put the schedule together with that in mind. I don't know what we're going to do, but I put that schedule together. Yes.
I just want to know what your favorite coaching moment was, and if you'd heard about our week-long camp out for basketball practice tickets in Midnight Madness.
The week, yeah, everybody says this. I tried to put the Midnight Madness in Commonwealth Stadium, football stadium. And people told me we'd get 70,000. Will we get 70,000 if we did it there? Oh, yeah. Well, next year, that's my goal, to have that thing in Commonwealth. We didn't have the time, and I threw it at the athletic department, which I do a lot. But I just throw ideas out. I said, why don't we do it in the football stadium? You know, does it rain in this stadium? No. It doesn't rain, does it? But anyway, some of the great moments. I've been so blessed and fortunate to have great players, and you know, we've beaten 3 number 1s, Arkansas and North Carolina when they were number 1 in the country, having teams be number 1. I think we beat, yeah, Kentucky was number 1 when we beat them. Beat their brains in, by the way. They got us in the Final Four. We got screwed when that came up. Officials stunk. Any other questions? Something in the back? Yes.
Have you ever coached a player as fast with the basketball as Waller, Bledsoe, and
Derrick Rose. Oh my gosh.
who's faster between those two?
Until I coach those two, I don't know, but if they're faster than Derrick Rose, they can't be guarded. Derrick Rose was so fast, it was scary. I mean, he's the number one pick and rookie of the year in the NBA, and the first point guard taken since Magic Johnson, and did it all. That's how fast he was. And a great kid. One of the great kids I've ever coached. Humble, deferred to his teammates. He came on, he was slow starting because he was more worried about his team. And then the game was on the line as the season ended. He was tremendous. So if they're that fast, we're really good.
How's your Chinese recruiting coming, Coach?
Ni hao. Ni hao, Mom. Tai Chien. Cheers, thank you. We're trying. There's 1,000 7-footers in China. I just want one of those point guards. Yes. Really hard. You got 6 players that are returning from an NIT team that lost their best player, yet they're talented. It's their turn in their mind, if you know what I'm saying. You have 6 young players coming in that think they poop ice cream, okay? You get that in Kentucky? To get them together will be the first challenge. Now we're going to watch Remembering the Titans. That's the first thing I'll do when they come in. 2 high schools having to come together and all the racial and all the other stuff. Coming together with a coach that half of them wanted to play for, the other half didn't. And having those kids come together, and then they win every game, and then every player within there, as the tide rises, all the boats rise. I've been fortunate enough throughout my career to have players that understand that, and we've been able to get it across. If we get it across to this team, one agenda. The agenda is winning. When the season is over, it's about the players. It's time for them to leave, they leave. During the season, it's one agenda. It's about winning. It's about our team. And if we can get them to that, then I can teach defense and dribble drive and all the fun things, and we'll have a ball. But we got to do that first, so that's a great question. Yes?
Yes, you referred to John Wall as a high school senior. You compare him to Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose and John Wall. They're different types of point guards. Derrick is, they're both good. I mean, they're saying that if John Wall came out this year, he'd have been the number 1 pick in the draft. I don't know if that's true. And they're saying he's the number 1 pick in next year's draft. Should we convince him to stay? Probably not. Try to. You know how I convinced Derrick Rose? Derrick Rose said after his freshman year, Coach, should I do this, put my name in the draft? I said, son, if you want to do what's right for you and your family, you need to put your name in that draft. If you want to do what's right for me and my family, why don't you stay for a little while? Makes sense though, right? We all want him to stay. We want to win more games. Forget about you. Just stay here and win more games. So hopefully he's going to be as good as Derrick, and if he is, we're going to have some fun. Yes? You made me sign a piece of paper. You're the only one. You weren't supposed to do that.
Thank you. It's also on the coffee table.
Okay.
Coach, thank you for coming to Owensboro.
Thank you.
So we can get to know you. But welcome to Kentucky.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One of the things I want to tell you all, I'm going to have fun this year. You have to understand, I don't read the newspapers. I don't listen to radio. I don't have a computer. How many of you have followed me on Twitter? Raise your hands. Come on. Grandma, raise your hand. Okay? 600,000 followers. What? You people are nuts. 2 weeks on Facebook, almost 60,000 friends. What? In 2 weeks. Website up for 2 weeks. The website's up for 2 weeks. 80 countries. You people are nuts. And they're everywhere. They're everywhere. But I'm going to have fun, and I want you to have fun. We win by 18. We should have won by 30. Stop. Enjoy. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the growth. Enjoy the path, not just the prize. Enjoy watching the team grow. You watch them at the beginning of the year, take a tape. Keep it. 12 games in, watch that tape and then watch the game when we play our 12th game and see the difference. Enjoy the growth. You're not making me miserable. I don't read it, I don't listen to it, I don't hear it. I'm going to have fun. And what I'd like you to do is have fun. Have fun. People right now, and I told Joe this, there's a hunger for this program to be significant again. Right? So, I mean, here's what I know. The great players in here know this. They played their best when they had fun. Now, winning makes it a whole lot more fun than losing, I can tell you. But when a team is having fun, they want to extend the year. And when a team is miserable, do you really think they want to keep playing? My job is to keep all the miserable stuff away from this team. Now, I'm going to be tough on them. I'm hard on players. I raise the bar. I'm not mean. I don't punch and go crazy. Well, sometimes I do. But I'm hard on guys, and we raise the bar. That's what's hard. You can do more than you believe. You have to break barriers. That's a barrier for you. And when you break a barrier, you got to feel good. You can't feel miserable. I can't believe you made me work this hard. Well, then tomorrow you're going to have a groin pulled. You got to say, I can't believe I did this. And that's where I got to get this team and get them going. And if we do that, we're going to have fun. If we can have good players, if we can have really good players, we can have great players, and they have fun, they'll be putting up banners. That's how it works. This is about players. It's not about me just coaching them up and me trying to make myself out to be a genius. It isn't. I've done it with terrific players. My teams win because we have good players who are getting better and have one agenda. The agenda is we're going to do this together, and every one of us is going to benefit. Let me just say this before we leave. This has been an honor being here today, and it's been a pleasure. And I'm glad I got to get around and touch and sign. Anybody else want to take a picture? Don't put up your hand. Anybody else want me to sign something? Don't even think about it. I just signed. And let me say this, that autograph, you try that on eBay, I've signed it 95,000 times the last 4 days. It's not worth a penny. So just keep it and enjoy it. But again, I want to thank all of you for having me. I hope I didn't extend myself too long here, but I enjoy telling you what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do this. Thank you for coming, and let's all enjoy this season. Have fun. Thanks.
Coach Calipari, thank you for those inspirational comments.